If you were to ask me, I think the check and release route to a running back or a tight end is one of the most underutilized elements of offensive competitive Madden. It's a cover 0 and cover 1 based game where a lot of times your opponent wants to user the player that is guarding the running back. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to manipulate the user by baiting them into covering other things, getting your running back wide open out of the backfield or your tight end wide open out of the backfield on a check down route. What is up, guys? Zam from Zam Madden YouTube channel, and I just want to say thank you so much. We have crossed 19,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. That is a testament to you guys out there that are supporting this video. We're almost into the Super Bowl season now. The game is supposed to be in the dead phase, and this channel is healthy as it's ever been. It's growing at a crazy rate, and I just want to say thank you so much to you guys. But today's video, enough yapping.
Son of a I never thought it'd show.
Today's video is going to show you guys how to deal with the cover 0 blitz meta where your opponent is usering down in the box. A lot of players struggle with the nickel over, and I think that after the loop blitz patch, this is a really good video to do because a lot of players are revisiting nickel over and also 3-3 cub where these cover 0 and heavy man coverage blitz principles do apply. So let's go ahead and get into this. This video will basically teach you guys how to utilize check and release routes, but also block this standard heavy blitz mug meta anyways. So let's get into it. The formation I'm going to run is the gun split wide receiver backfield, but we'll also show you guys how to do this out of regular shotgun and also under center here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a play. Doesn't really matter what it is. And we know that on defense, the nickel overstorm brave meta gives a lot of players trouble. Probably one of the most frequently asked questions I get is how do I block this blitz where my opponent is going to either stand here or they're going to stand here with their user trying to guarantee pressure? And that's a really good question. So we'll start off with just the simple blocking formula before we get into the check and release. So what you need to do is choose a running back. In this case, I have two. This is actually a wide receiver backfield, but it works the same. You're going to block them. So I'm going to block Julian Edelman here. Now from there, this is not enough. In a lot of cases, if they kind of stand right here and, you know, maybe even touch the center at the snap, so they kind of do this. A lot of times you get this guy that comes in free off the edge. So what we've actually got to do with this is we've got to put in a little bit of an extra command. So when you see this particular blitz setup, you actually want to block a running back and slide protect either direction. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to slide protect to the right here. But we're not done. From there, what you actually need to do is then put the ID the Mike logo on the leftmost rusher in the formation. And if you do this correctly, what will end up occurring is you will get a perfect blitz pickup. Now, of course, I didn't set up a route combo to beat the man-to-man there. That was actually more of like a zone beating concept, but we had the blitz picked up very easily. So again, you're just going to block a player, slide protect left or right, and then ID the Mike on the other side, which is going to be really useful for you. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about kind of the meta of how players like to run this. So you guys have definitely seen where a player is going to basically tell you straight up, I want to use the running back. So the reason they do that is that in this case, they're expecting you to block the running back, which is going to allow you to basically lurk the middle of the field and have freedom to bait a slant or a post or some other route, because the guy that you're guarding, in order to pick up the blitz, has to stay in. Well, that's where the check and release tip is going to come in today. So what we're going to do is, instead of utilizing a just blocking assignment, what we're going to do is we're going to utilize a check and release, and it can be really anything. The standard check and release route for a running back is the check and release to the flat, which is what I'm doing to Edelman right here. He's going to block. And what you see really nicely is that little purple C logo, and that pops up telling you that is the player he wants to verify is blocked or is rushing before he runs his route. Now, I will tell you that check and release routes can be a little finicky from time to time, especially the tight end ones. But in general, this formula is going to apply pretty well. So let's put ourselves in the mindset of a user who's trying to guarantee their pressure. What we're going to do is we're going to check a release, we're going to slide protect, and we're going to ID the Mike on that same player, right? So we've got Julian Edelman saying, hey, this is your guy. This is your guy. And what's going to end up occurring with this is we're then going to be able to put other players on man beating routes. So I'll put Kittle on a post over the middle. Maybe we'll put a corner route over there to Kirk. Maybe we'll put a slant to Hopkins. And maybe just for the sake of this particular blitz, we'll actually block work done just to make sure that Julian Edelman can get out on this route. So what's going to end up occurring here is at the snap, they're going to say, oh, Julian Edelman's blocking. Let me cover the middle of the field. And then you dump it out in the flat. And obviously I'm not controlling Julian Edelman right there because I was lurking on the defensive controller. But you can see that that leads to a wide open receiver for an annoying little quick pass out of the backfield, which really is going to put your opponent in a weird spot where if they want to drop back into the middle of the field, because that player stays in, they're going to be really disappointed because he's going to leak out late and it's going to be a cheap, 10 to 20 yards, potentially a touchdown, which is what you guys saw in the intro for the video. If they are out there in La La Land lurking a post route, they're going to be 30 yards away from this route when you dump it out in the flat. And if it's a cover 0 or cover 1 base defense, and that's their responsibility, there's nobody there. So you can clear out the flat, just make sure there's nobody out there. He's going to be wide open. Now, the beauty of a formation like the 2-back, for instance, is that maybe they decide I'm going to lurk on this one and they're going to basically be relative to work done. Again, the same principles are going to apply. We could put work done on a block and release flat here, and you see that he's on that route, and we're going to slide protect, we're going to ID the mic, and maybe we even, set up some eye candy for the user. Let's, get them over to the left side of the field, right? Let's go ahead and flood everything over to that side. Maybe we block Edelman just to make sure that this blitz is picked up. Then maybe we snap the ball. The user says, oh, everything over there on that side. The guy leaks out late. And now we're in a spot where something just dumped out to the flat can pick up 15, 20 yards. It's just really cheap. It is something that can be extremely, extremely annoying to deal with. And the really cool thing about it is that if you have a hot route master, you guys can utilize other routes other than the flat, although I think the flat is a very, very valuable tool. So now let's put ourselves in the mindset of maybe we're in a bunch meta. We'll go ahead and put a check and release route right here. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a slide protection to the left. I know the check and release icon goes over to the outside corner. Let's ignore that for a minute because we're going to do something a little bit cute here. So what we'll do is maybe set up some route combos where everything's going out to the right side of the field. Now, because this is kind of a heavier 6-man pressure and the running back might leave us out to dry because we only have one of them in the backfield, unlike the previous example, what we're going to do is we're going to utilize kind of a motion snap of a wide receiver. And what this is going to do is this is going to allow us to kind of snap the ball and then get that user over to that side thinking that, okay, the running back's also staying in. And then we can leak the running back out of the backfield and throw that route just as you saw there in that example. So as you see right here with this motion snap, he turns into a blocker 6-on-6. Because the running back stays in initially right here, that is usually going to be a trigger for the user to bail out into center field. Once he does that, the running back will end up leaking out. It'll be wide open. The user's out of position. We can throw the ball quickly for a first down. Now let's talk about under center. This is one of my favorites. So I would say that in this offense, the X Nasty, most players tend to do this. And then what I will typically do is I will play with their minds. I will go ahead and I will motion Kittle across the formation, which puts the user on the tight end. And most users will tell me right away that that's not what they want to do. They'll click off. And then usually this guy goes back to this spot and then they click onto this guy because that's the guy that's on the running back. So in this particular situation, what I will end up doing is I will say, okay, well, I'm going to use Kittle to block this blitz. I'm going to put the running back on a check and release into the flat. And I'm just going to run everything else vertical to kind of mess with my opponent's head here. And what that's going to end up doing is when this ball is snapped, the user's kind of out here. And then I can dump that ball out there in the flat this direction to the running back. So I really like this tip in under center sets where you can motion the tight end to make them switch to the other safety, and then you use the tight end to actually block the blitz. Again, notice that when this tip is at its best, we're using a different player to block the blitz, but also giving the short time look of a max protect where the running back for the first second or two stays in, getting the user to bail into center field, and then we can dump the ball out in the flat. So this is going to be really, really useful, really against anybody that runs a cover 0 blitz meta. I hope that this is something that does help you expand your offense, whether you're an under center player or a shotgun player. Hopefully I kind of covered all those boxes and checked all those boxes. Hopefully I checked all those boxes for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell because we got a short dropping a little bit later this afternoon. You guys need that push notification to know when I'm dropping the content. Again, 5 long form and 5 short videos a week. And if you guys want more, head over to my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. We will see you guys right back here on Monday. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.